Welcome back, everyone, to the BD1P Binding of Isaac modded series. Today is going to be a brand new character in Atlas run for win number 2 and episode number 326. And your question for today is going to be, put your answer in the comments down below. How often do you listen to music on a daily basis? It has been a while for me. Seed, by the way, is going to be 497LDH0D. It has been a while since I have played Isaac. I've been being kind of lazy recently. I will admit it. I've been putting up a lot of stream VODs instead of recording the own dedicated YouTube runs, but I'm getting back in the swing of things. I've actually had a very, I wouldn't say rough time with content, but a very busy time with content, I guess is a better way to phrase that. The Nuzlocke's coming back, I'm working on a very large video for the main channel. I just scrapped a video I was already 12 hours into scripting and editing, so it's been kind of like a very interesting week for me. But anyways, this character's name is Atlas. They have a really high 1.2 times damage multiplier. However, the trade-off there is you kind of have low speed. Obviously, we have Ares now making our speed still pretty good either way. But when you get hit during a room, you will gain 2 times damage multiplier, Ball of Tar, and every 10 seconds you will lose half a heart. So it's meant to be like a high risk, it's a glass cannon-y character in that regard, but to be quite honest with you, I really don't see the risk as this character, because you're not usually going to be in a room longer than the 15 seconds, let alone being in a room while being hit for another 10 seconds after that point. So I don't really see a huge risk as the character. I understand that in boss fights like Mother and Beast and Delirium and Hush, the longer cutscene styled boss fights, that you could end up losing a lot of HP, but in a normal room, watch this right here. We get hit once, our damage goes way up, our speed goes up. Once we leave the room though, there was almost no risk to that. Now, there is a small caveat there. When you do hit 1 heart, you will start gaining broken hearts instead of half hearts, but then again, when will you ever usually reach that point on a run? It's not going to be super common, but, either way, I thought we'd give him a try, see if we can find some cool stuff out as Atlas here, but I'm not expecting, the craziest run in the world. But yeah, it's been a very interesting week for content. I wanted to do, a summoning salt styled world record progression video, and I started work on one for a game called Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga, and one of my good friends in that community named Chimkin, fantastic and very talented gamer, said, hey, just so you know, there's a team already working on that kind of video that's more ingrained in the community. And I was like, you're right, I probably shouldn't make a video if people have already been working on that for a year and have done a lot more work than I have. So begrudgingly, I did scrap that video, but I'm working on another one for Lego Batman instead, so look out for that in the coming week or so. But it does suck to scrap a video. It is one of the most, I don't want to say it's annoying, but I did put a lot of research into it, and it's kind of man, I wasted 2 full days doing nothing but researching those runs. Now, I had fun doing it because that kind of stuff really does interest me, but having to start all over from scratch on a different game was a bit just kind of demotivating, but we're back in the swing of things here. Nice half heart. You might as well go and look for a secret room because there are only so many places it can be. Wow. As I was saying, there are only so many places this thing could be. Duh, it's right here. Huh, what does this one do again? This thing can add a charge to your active item. Well, I just want to take the hearts and leave. I don't really want flesh chests as a soul heart only character, so I think we're safe to move on down. But for my answer, finally, for today's question of the day, I listen to music quite a lot. It used to be a lot more. When I was living in Chicago, just starting out doing YouTube and stuff, and I was streaming 3 days a week minimum, because I used to be a streamer before I was actually a YouTuber, believe it or not, so I was streaming quite a bit. It was, music for the entire stream, then off a stream when I was doing graphic design stuff for stream, it was also playing music. Going for runs was playing music. Driving in to get my girlfriend, who was 2 hours away from me, was a lot of music. So it used to be, I would say, over half my day was spent with music in my ears. But as in recent times, most notably since I got back from vacation, it hasn't been a lot because, number one, I can't go for runs right now. I have 3 pretty much brand new tattoos that you shouldn't be sweating or running with tattoos when you first get them. You don't want the ink to get messed up in like inside of your skin, so I can't go for runs, which is where a lot of my music listening comes from. When I'm writing videos now, I don't mind listening to music while I'm editing, but it does kind of mess up like my specific audio mixing when I'm trying to make game volume a bit louder than my voice or vice versa. Having background music on my own end, it does make things, you're gonna split, yeah, there we go, a little bit harder to manage. But I do tend to put some music on as I'm going to sleep or if I'm like making a thumbnail. But either way, even then it's like I'd rather prefer to have a YouTube video up instead. I knew it was gonna be a trash one. What you got from me in here? Anything amazing? Speed is good. Being at a high speed value is important. What about, is there like a sacrifice room over here? It's branching off quite a bit more. I'm a little bit curious right now. My voice is gone. That was a weird, right now. I'm so sorry about that. I haven't talked this long in a while, but we're getting back in the swing of things here. Don't worry. Either way, I did go for a run this morning because it has been like 2, almost 3 weeks since I got my tattoos, and that I think is enough time where I can start easing back into working out and not ruining, you know, my very expensive ink that I just got. But I keep putting on the same songs on repeat. It does sound kind of, 2 tinted stone. It's a 5% chance right there, brother. I do have I want to say I have I can't even talk, man, a diverse taste in music. I want to say that I do, but I know deep down that like my taste in music is usually I find one band, I get obsessed with that band for like 2 years, and then I move on to a different band. I think my first case of that was back in middle school. I would say around 7th grade, I found the band Pierce the Veil, and they were my favorite band till I was in freshman year. Then freshman year hit, and my dad's sister, so my aunt and her husband, gave me their old record player and like all 400 of their old like vinyl records from when they were kids in recent times as well. And it was obviously a lot of classic rock and punk. And they had a record that was a pretty shitty record. It was like a little bit warped. The sound quality was a bit staticky, but it was Queen's greatest hits. And when I was a kid, the first song that I ever like learned or heard was Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. So Queen had always kind of been like a personal favorite for me, and I put on that record and I heard a lot of those songs that I hadn't really heard before, and I fell in love with Queen till I was in about sophomore year. And I think even to this day, like the Queen love is still there. I listen to a lot of Queen. I think my favorite song by them is, it's kind of hard actually, because Queen has a pretty large discography. Brighton Rock is really good, one of my personal favorites. Melancholy Blues is probably, I gotta think back because they have a lot. Melancholy Blues is probably my #1 Queen song. I know it's a little bit of a lame pick. It's a very, it's not lame, I guess, but it's not the greatest. And I think it's Melancholy Blues. Of course, they have one of my favorite records that is very underappreciated by Queen fans, which is called Hot Space. People didn't like Hot Space. They like Under Pressure, and that's pretty much it. Hot Space has some fucking jams on it, man. Put Out the Fire is a fantastic song. Cool Cat's pretty good. It's got the Body Language. That one's all right, too. They play it on concerts still quite a bit when they go tour with Adam Lambert, but Queen fucking slaps, man, and I'm tired of pretending they don't slap because I get a lot of flack for that. People say Queen is overrated. They say Queen kind of sucks, but I gotta say, I can get down with a bit of Queen every now and then. I have moved a bit towards more the Bowie side of things, but that's a topic for another day, I think. Either way, I fell in love with Queen for about 2 years, and then sophomore year hit, and I found a new genre of music. So in about sophomore year, I started like becoming one of those like really annoying Anthony Fantano, like just huge fans. And it's about 2017 right now. And I browsed a lot of Reddit forums. I guess it wasn't Reddit. It was more just like random music forums and shit. And I made a couple of friends that were, currently making music in that time. A couple of those friends helped me out with my covers I have posted in Discord. We had some SoundCloud adventures together, me and the boys, but there were a couple that I don't really want to name right now that actually got a pretty decent career in music. And one of those friends was a background singer for a little man known as Kevin Abstract, who was the lead man for the hip-hop group Brockhampton. And I really fucking loved Brockhampton for a while. I would say that in 2018, 2019, I probably streamed like 90% of my music being like just Brockhampton, and by the end of that era, a little bit of the 1975. And I could probably still, like, I have all their unreleased. You know what? Cut the video real quick. Here's all the records that I brought down to Texas with me. Now, Brockhampton was an interesting band because they got a lot of fame pretty early on through reviewers like Fantano. And they kind of, I wouldn't say it was a cult following. It was definitely more of an actual following, but they hit their big stride with the release of their, I guess it was their third album, their fourth release, the album Saturation 3. Not regarded as one of their better ones, although it is my personal favorite, but I actually have one of the only copies of Saturation 3 on vinyl. This album was never officially released on vinyl, and it was only kind of printed out a couple of times for some like exclusive show merch drops and stuff like that. And I got myself a copy of that through my friend who was the background singer, and I also have a copy, which I'll show off in a bit, of their first Saturation and Saturation 2, which was kind of considered like the golden age of this band, because after that, a bunch of allegations came out, and one of the members was kicked out for being a terrible person, and a lot of people think their music went downhill. I don't really agree with that sentiment, but after a while, it definitely became true. But I don't know, like, they don't have the greatest reputation anymore, and it's for good measure. A lot of them were outed as being terrible people, but, for the time and for the period, it was very blissful to have a band that felt so unique, new, and fresh, and wasn't an industry plant. And it gave me, like, a lot of love for the group, especially having, like, the one-off, relationship with somebody who was close to that band. It helped a lot with kind of getting me more involved in their music. Oh, I'm gonna take Death's Touch for sure. But I have a copy of every single one of their records on vinyl besides their most recent one, because that one did not have a vinyl release. It only had a CD release. But if it did have a vinyl release, despite me not liking the band at all anymore, I probably still would have bought it just to say that I have, their entire discography on vinyl, because they did break up as a group recently. But I have Saturation 1 through 3 on official vinyl release, even though it wasn't publicly a huge thing. It was just exclusive drops, and that's kind of one of my little brags that I have in life. I've got all the Brockhampton stuff. Have I ever played it on my record player? Maybe like twice ever. That's the thing, man, is like, record players are great. Record players are fantastic. It's kind of like an event bringing one of those out. You light a fucking candle, you make some food, and you put a record on and just kind of relax. It's really, this guy needs to come away from that turret. Hey, buddy. It's really, really fun to kind of make a special occasion out of putting a record on, which obviously means I don't do it too often. And when I do want to put a record on, I like the older ones that have that more charm to it, ones that were made for vinyl and not just as like an extra thing to go along with like a recent merch drop, like stuff like Meatloaf, Supertramp I have on vinyl as well. Just those kind of, I think, more, how do you phrase this? Ones that were made for vinyl instead of just like a modern bonus with a merch drop, I guess is the only way you really can phrase something like that. But the record player life, that's kind of what got me into these, like, more music as a kid, where I was researching different genres and I was like actively searching for bands that I wanted to find a new sound with. For example, I think at a point I was looking for smaller, like, 90s punk bands, and I found not a 90s band, but a band called Remo Drive that was just up and coming in the punk scene, and I saw them live in Milwaukee, or it might have been Chicago, one of those two. I was two of my good friends, and it was a fucking blast. I do not have that record on vinyl, sadly, but I'd like to get it one day, and that band kind of stinks now, so I'm not too upset about that. But there was a period after the whole Brockhampton phase where one of my friends named Nick got into a big phase of a band called the 1975, which I followed suit in pretty shortly after, because they were a little bit edgier, you know? They had a very nice pop sound, but they definitely had a bit more of an edgier take on pop. Like lyrics about, you know, oh, like they're so sad, all they can do is fucking jack off or something. I don't know, it felt more mature when I was in high school. Like things that were a bit more raw and untamed and unfiltered, it felt more real and it felt cooler. So I listened to them for like a year straight, and I almost actually saw them live, believe it or not. They were playing, I forget the name of the building, but they were playing in Milwaukee, and we had bought like front row pit tickets. They were $100 a piece, and it was 1975. Bia Badu, whatever her name is, the pop rock singer, and Phoebe Bridgers, and they were all playing that same night because they're all on the same label. And we got like the front of the pit tickets, which was really fucking cool. And then of course the Rona happened, and not much can be done about that. We got our tickets refunded, and I never saw them live. And to be honest with you, I don't have much of a drive to anymore. I still like the band. I still really enjoy them. Plus, I became a huge fan of Phoebe after learning about her through that concert. So I would have still loved to go, but I don't think that I would want to pay $100 to see what would mostly be a 1975 show, when I think the stuff they're putting out now, like their most recent single, wasn't really my taste. It was more of like a theater song, it felt like. And I didn't like how it just sounded overall. The lyrics felt a bit too just like, look at me, I'm very sad, and it's just, I don't know, man. You age out of that stuff pretty quick once you're out of high school, I feel like. What do I want to do on this floor? Don't not go to your shop. Okay, pop this, just get an extra item if you can. Ooh, the Fallen. Okay, I can deal with this. We can get a good old devil item here. I'm gonna try for the bomb skip thingy here, if I can get that. Oh, we got them both in there. It wasn't a perfect bomb, but, you know, that's great, fantastic. It could have been way worse. I think you want to buy this as well. And I think you move on now. I know I'm kind of bouncing from topic to topic right now, but I love music. It's one of my like off-screen passions, I guess you could say. Ooh, a planetarium challenge room, huh? Okay, we're gonna do the thing that's not. We're gonna bomb this instead. I really don't want Jupiter. Out of every item that could have been, man. Oh, new boss. Okay. I gotta kind of focus here. What are you doing? You spawn Cube? Cube are all dead. Okay, you got some bombs coming around here. What the frick, dude? Oh my god. Okay. Oh no, that is not a good time to get paralyzed, sir. Now you can see that the half heart every 10 seconds thing is going to come into true effect here, it looks like. Yeah, we're not getting out of this room anytime soon. You're almost dead. Come on. You're almost dead. You got money? I got sides, dude. You're dead. Okay. We have a broken heart now. I guess it's when you get hit twice in a room, it gives you a broken heart after that point. So I guess maybe the effect does matter a little bit. I still don't think it's going to be making a huge difference here, but I guess we'll see. But 1975 phase came and passed. I think it was probably my fastest or quickest music phase, just because I don't know, like it's a weird phenomenon, but when you graduate high school and you leave that whole part of your life and like in the past, I feel like you strive to find something that fits that transitional period, and the 1975 does not. They feel very much like a band that grows and they change their sound, but generally will just stay the same overall, which is fine. Not every band needs to be, you know, constantly evolving or changing at every, you know, point. It's fine to have bands that are comfortable being what they are. But when you're trying to move on to other things in your life, you want to find new stuff. So after that point, I kind of like just was listening to a bunch of random smaller stuff like Vanilla Roma, Roy Blair, come on, Indigo de Socia, and it was all fine and good. Then I found a little band that a lot of you are going to know I'm going to talk about because they're my favorite band ever. Maybe not. Maybe it's actually Billy Joel, but time will only tell in that department, right? But it's a little band, a little gay furry band known as Seat Headrest, which, ooh, sorry to disappoint you lads, but we can actually do the little thing. Not there, but I saw a video by SlayXC2 today that lets you do a little bit of some crooked penny shenanigans, allowing you to potentially get even more items out of this doubler. We're gonna do it in a bit here if we get time for it, but just hold on. Back to our discussion anyways. This band has... Shot speed down. I've been in the car seat phase for about 3 years now, and I am not getting bored of it still. They just have so much music. Right now, like if you look at Spotify or Apple, whatever, I believe they have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5, 6 or 7 albums out. Not counting the EPs and all that. They got like 2 or 3 EPs as well. And that's just their released stuff. Oh, let's count it out together. They got 2011 Twin Fantasy. They got, we can black rune this. What's in here, though? It does not work. They've got 2011 Twin Fantasy, My Back is Killing Me, Baby, Monomania, Nervous Young Man. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Teens of Style, Teens of Denial, 2018's Twin Fantasy, and then Making a Door Less Open, Living While Starving EP, so that's 9, and then the Madlow like demos and inspiration. So they have about 10 projects out, I would say. Again, not counting their singles either. And that's just the release stuff. If you go, you know, decently far back into the lead singer's discography, you can find another like 10 or 11 albums that haven't been publicly released on like streaming platforms before. So there's a lot of music to go through. There is a lot of music, and these are not short like 2-minute, 1-minute Spotify songs. These are like full, the Pink Floyd ass 13 minutes, you know, 6 minutes on average songs that go on for a long time. And I like longer songs that can tell a very strong narrative the entire time. That's what Car Seat, I think, seeks to do. We don't really need 10 bombs anyways. I could have gone for 20 or taken 10. I'm fine just doing that, I think. They got a lot of stuff out there. And I haven't even heard, like, every song, I think, at this point. I mean, there's just too much to count. But I really... I don't want to say the band like resonates with me because they really don't on a lot of levels. It's just it's once again what I was looking for with other bands. It's untamed. It's just raw emotion, and I like that. I think that music is to quote Gene Cousineau from the television show Barry, like art is truth, and this guy is just speaking his truth, whether it be disgusting truth or whether it be, you know, things you probably should keep to yourself. He's just, like, it's flow of consciousness singing that makes these songs feel personal to everybody. And that's kind of the big appeal to me, is that every song that gets put out by this band, there's, like, a level of one-to-one with, like, the listener and the musician that I think is what really drives a lot of people towards this band. Myself, obviously, included. That's really good. What else can we do here? Temperance, and we can do a little bit of money grinding for a quick second. Don't forget about this. You got a good synergy going here. But I've listened to Car Seat for the last like 3 years, and it feels like every single month I find a new appreciation for something they're doing. What do I want to? I got hit by something there. I gotta leave the room like ASAP. The IV machine, I guess, counts for taking damage every 10 seconds. What can I do with all of this stuff? I don't think I can do, like, anything. I just wasted my time in here. Okay. Well, look for your red room. I'm going to make a call and just... Oh, it can't be there, huh? I hate when it's, like, this cryptic. Because I don't think it can spawn above the planetarium challenge room. And it's not going to be there. Oh, I'm not holding the red key. That's why it's not freaking working, dude. I'm holding the flower of lust. Is it down here? This is my first guess. Yep, and oh my god, a praying altar with crooked penny. Okay, candy heart and contagion. We get double of that. I love to see it. I could have gone for the crooked penny thing there, but not a huge deal. We can't even use candy heart as the sad thing, but I want to get double copy in case we find a full run reroll somewhere. We can go double? No, you cannot get double. I forgot about that. I'm just going to go through here. I'm going to walk out. We're going to go get our flower of lust back in here. And then we can finally move on down. Taking a while, but I think it's all panning out. But I love this band, if you can't tell. I have like 6 different shirts. I actually have right here. If I can grab them in a second here, I'll show off the records at the end of the run. But I have 3? No, I think just like 2 of their records. Oh, huge on vinyl. No, and it's 2 of my favorites by them. Hello. Thank you for Neptunus there. I appreciate it. But music has always been like something that's very important to me, and it's really cool to see, to look back, I guess, and see how that's progressed and what kind of started me getting into music. The catalyst was 100% getting that record player. That was like the #1 catalyst for, I think, getting into music and getting a high appreciation for it. I'm not saying that I appreciate music more than you. I'm just saying that, like, I like that I can find so much, I guess, in music by that. I hate that enemy, dude, so goddamn much. Like, he just sits there and he has no iframes between walking through rooms. You just touch him because you're going too fast and you just die. It's very sad and very depressing, but hey, what can you do? We already got a crooked penny. We have a fantastic run going on here, so I can't really complain too much. But I want to know down below, like, favorite artist, favorite song, what got you into music in the first place? If you are, if you aren't, like, you know, what's your fucking issue with music, man? Like, what's going on with you? But I have retained a lot of my my old favorites that I still listen to time to time again. For example, Pierce the Veil is still a big favorite of mine, as edgy, quote unquote, as they can be. They still hold a good place in my heart. I listen to them, I would say, like, maybe twice a month. My girlfriend loves them too, so that's kind of another big reason why they're always on play in my apartment. Well, take that just in case you want to go to Beast for some reason. I have not listened to Brockhampton in about, like, 3 years because, again, like, I age out of that music pretty quickly, and they don't really have much that wants to keep me coming back, so... 2 of those? Okay, sick. So I haven't really gotten much more into them, but they're not bad. It's just, they're very shady, I think. And when a music or musician, like, is really dodgy with certain questions or is, like, definitely a bad person, it kind of makes you, like, question the art they create as well. There's a whole, like, separation of art and the artist, but... And I think it's good to have that separation. I think that we shouldn't put bad people on a great pedestal, but the other truth of that is that bad people make good art, because a lot of the times, and I'm not trying to glorify, like, awful behavior here. I want to make that explicitly clear. But a lot of the times, people who have done bad shit seem to be a lot more in tune with why they did it and their atonement, and that atonement makes for great thematic purpose in, like, songs and movies and TV shows. I mean, that's the reason we love anti-heroes so much, and, like, scumbags. I mean, look at a show like Better Call Saul. Saul is not a good person, but we root for him anyways because he's tried to get better, and we've seen him do bad things and then do good things. When it comes to, like, somebody who's a public figure and they do something terrible, we are very quick to say you're an awful person, which is usually true, but we don't really get to see how they're working to better themselves. And I'm not talking about, like, heinous shit like assault. I'm talking about, like, small shit. You know, like I don't want to say small, but I'm talking about more minor stuff that really isn't, you know, a telling of their exact character. I know I'm being very vague here, but I'm not talking about someone assaulting somebody. I'm talking more about, like, somebody made a dumb choice where they, robbed a store in 2008, but they've, gone to rehab for it every day since or something like that. Things that are not character revealing, but are more just like, it could have been a bad situation, could have been a bad headspace, etc., etc. But it is stand to reason that bad people usually can make some pretty good art, and it's just that we have to accept that. It's better than that stupid AI like DALL-E art that computers can make nowadays. You tell a computer to draw the Mona Lisa, it looks like nightmare fuel. I can't stand that shit. And that's another question too, is like, what makes art art? Can computers make art? Or does it have to have some kind of like human emotion to it? Can a program make something as moving as, it's fucking Starry Night? I don't know. Can an AI make a song that can make you feel emotions, or is it just a copy paste of everything else somebody else has already done, based off an algorithmic preference? Or to that degree, is everything we hear anyways today just a rehash of somebody else's work? Is music itself a copy? We'll never know. Am I going crazy right now? Yes, probably, because these are questions that the normal person should not ask themselves, because if you enjoy something, you enjoy it, so what? I'll take that. We're getting great odds right now. We're getting fantastic crooked penny odds. But again, like, really, who's to say anymore? I think what it mostly comes down to on the discussion of, like, bad people, good art, whoo, baby. Yeah, you know what? You can't always have what you want to have. Sometimes life just takes it away. It comes down to the transparency and honesty about the awful shit in your art. For example, I don't think the lead singer of Seat Headrest is necessarily, a model person. He's written about some pretty awful feelings he's had, wanting people to be dead, like, playing God in somebody's life and how that can feel good. Like, he's made some pretty drastic claims in his lyrics, but he also is honest about those feelings, not trying to twist it that like he's, the good person in that scenario, fully acknowledging that his feelings are bad. And I think if you can acknowledge that what you're doing is bad, that also means that you probably have the ability within yourself to like change that if it becomes terrible for you. As opposed to somebody like, I think, is that fucking Morrissey? Like the really awful like metal singer who has just doubled down on being really bad and not really being forgiving or willing to change that kind of shit. Like, then it makes it so it's like, okay, I can't listen to another song by this guy because he's just like a grade A asshole. It really all is, it comes down to the crime in question and how that singer or artist is able to cope and change with that. And there's some good examples of that. I think a lot of music that covers difficult topics and themes that person may have been feeling, like the idea of like, is it wrong to wish that somebody was dead? And they cover that in their song, and it ends up being great because it's a complex emotion. And you can write a lot more about complex things like that than you can about more simpler feelings. Simple feeling songs can be great too, obviously, but you know what I'm trying to get at here. I'm trying my best to like not make any generalizations, but also trying to get my point across. But you miss that a couple of times. It's not always gonna come out properly, I guess. Holy shit, Maw of the Void, hello? I'm just gonna take that. I don't want to risk trying to double that. It doesn't do anything when it's doubled anyways. It just doesn't do jack shit. So now we have free Maw of the Void and a Neptunus and Death's Touch. Like, the run's going fantastic right now. I really can't complain. If I could ask for one thing on the rest of this run, it's that I want to get the Crooked Penny Pop next floor on the red chest that we have. That would make everything I've done in this universe worth it. I could go back for the Yara, and I think I will go back for the Yara. Oh, we're fricked. We're so fricked. We're so fricked. Dude, please. I can hide down here, right? I forgot about that. Because if we get the Crooked Penny, then we can only pair throw and take safely 4 of those items. If we get the penny, we get a guaranteed doubling. I guess we couldn't take those red chests, though. We'd have to Yara first, then open the chests up, and then Crooked Penny. I think that's the play you want to make. With the standard Crooked Penny play with pair throw, it's the same odds to gain items, but Yara just gives us double of those items as opposed to rolling them. So Yara in this situation, I think would be a lot better. We have like a weird Curse the Blind and not really Curse of the Blind going on, it looks like. I don't know what that's about. We'll find our boss fight eventually, though. Hopefully. I don't want to get lost in the shoal floor for eons and eons and never find my way out, but we're going to make it. We're going to make it. My pathing is bad. It's not that bad, but I've heard you guys loud and clear based off the views of the last, what's it called? Stream VOD Isaac run. I'll do less of those. I still want to do them like at least once a week or twice a week, but I was just kind of using those to fill out the upload schedule so I could work on main channel videos. But well, I'll do quite a bit less of those going forward here. I know they're not the most entertaining thing to watch because my conversation is interrupted by me talking to chat or me trying to do something funny on stream, so we'll tone those down for a bit, although I do think they're still pretty decent videos. But a lot of you guys who were there for the stream might not want to watch them, and I totally get that. You were already there for all the events. Where's the fun in watching a video that you were already presently there for? The solution? Oh, I don't have Polaroid. I'm an idiot. The solution to that is very easy, though. Just come by on stream and hang out. It's not that bad over there. We're all friends here, right? I might die on this run, by the way. We were already over here? When? Oh, there were 2 long rooms. Okay, what do we do here? Oh, okay. Interesting. That could be a potential soft lock if you have spectral tears, I think, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We found our boss fight. We got to be careful. We got to be really careful. We don't necessarily have the HP to be making a little bit slow there. Making huge plays. I know tap firing is the way to go with Neptunus. I'm trying to remember that. I'm going to get a bomb going right there. I'm going to get some tap firing right here. Brimstone huge, and then do this. Okay. We're going to win the Satan fight. Just a little bit too early with the bombs there. It's very fun if you can get a good bomb on Satan's legs, though. And we win. GG. I could pop that, but I don't think it does anything, so I'm just gonna move on down. We're gonna Yara, and then we're gonna crooked. No, we're gonna Yara first. Open the chests, and then pray. I have the thing. I almost just killed myself because I have magnet. Oh, okay. Well, there are things you can take just off the bat here. Oh, we lost Brimstone, dude. Oh my god. The HP is still better, and our damage and tears are also way better, but oh, I should have just waited and gone back and gotten Brimstone. That stings. That stings. Makes me very, very sad, but hey, bygones are bygones. Let's finish off this run with a strong finish here. And while we're here, I think my favorite vinyl that I own right now is Pink Floyd's The Wall. I do have that one. Billy Joel's Greatest Hits. I have Michael Jackson's Thriller. I have the Ramones. I do have Madlow and Teens of Denial. Woo! By Seat Headrest, obviously. We don't really need that. I'm just gonna Yara and hope we get a good thing here. Hey, look at that. Nothing. Our odds have not been super good leading down to these later floors, but that's fine too. I do have a couple ones that I prize. I have Changes by Bowie. That like new collection / mix. It came out a while ago. Still factory sealed, by the way. My aunt, I guess, just never decided to open up that record. What else do I have that I really care for? What did I used to frame on my... I had like vinyl frames that I had on my wall when I was in high school. Which ones were those? I think it was just The Wall, Queen, and Bowie. I do have Boston. The album by Boston. I have Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Is that it? I mean, I have some cool ones, but like ones that I super prize close to my heart. I do have Heart. That's also another one, I guess. I don't know. It's not like I have a lot that I'm super attached to. It's mostly just Pink Floyd, Billy Joel, and a little bit of Bowie here and there. A little bit of Monica by my side, if you will. Please. I had the Ghostbusters soundtrack. I lost the disc. I don't know where the fucking disc went. How do you lose a vinyl disc? I had it in my room. Woke up the next morning, and it was just, the disc was just gone. I think my sister might have taken it and like ruined it on accident and just never gave it back. That's the most likely scenario. I'm actually do double damage. I took 2 hearts there. I gotta get out of this room like ASAP, please. We could still lose this run. It's not out of the question. If I don't get HP here quite soon, I don't have a lot of... Sure. Does this work doubled? I don't have a lot of faith in the run. I think it does work doubled. We have like 6 tiers, yeah. That's crazy. I want to get conjoined and see how that works with this synergy now. Please, I'm looking for a secret room. I really don't want to lose. I really don't want to lose. Okay. Last chance for one on the current state is going to be right over there. Okay, that could be a bunch of stuff for us. That's not bad. That's actually not bad at all. It gives us shared tier effects, so now Bobby Brother Man has piercing. Look at that. And he has Schrödinger's tier thing. That's even better, man. Look at this damage we're outputting here. Look at this. They're multi-dimensional. They're Schrödingers. They're crazy. This is a really fun item. It makes it so that you have a triple shot, but only once one of those 3 tiers hits an enemy, the other 2 disappear. It's really, really cool. I like it a lot. Please, HP. You're a piece of shit. This is the worst day of my life. We're at 99 cents. That's pretty all right, too. Can I please get HP, though? What do you guys do? What is your trait? Dying? Boss fight? Oh, not these guys. Not these guys. Oh, my God. I hate those enemies so much. Please. I gotta find this. I think we're gonna die in 1 hit. I believe we took a full 2 hearts of damage to the other guys, so I gotta make sure we're playing. It's gotta be over here then, huh? It could be in other places, but the most likely is next to our boss. Told ya. It's all I need. That's all that I needed. It's an extra, like, half heart of health right there. Say no more. I'm gonna go gamer mode. I'm mashing so hard. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. No thank you. If you enjoyed the run of my commentary, a like and a comment goes a long way for a small channel like mine. In the meantime, though, guys, I have been BD1P. Peace out and goodbye.